It's business news, and Emmanuel Abajiriafe is here to do justice to that. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello, Israel.
All right, take it away.
Fine, thank you. And thanks for joining me on Business tonight. Local rice farmers are to get more ready markets as the Ghana Commodity Exchange adds rice to the list of commodities traded on the exchange. This follows the signing of an MOU between the Ghana Commodity Exchange, the John Agyekum Kufuor Foundation, and the Ghana Rice Interprofessional Body for commencement of trading on the commodity trading platform. This is part of efforts to develop rice farming in Ghana. Here's more in this report.
Launched in November 2018, the Ghana Commodity Exchange was set up to provide a regulated market for some food commodities by linking sellers to buyers on a common trading platform. Currently, two commodities, maize and soya beans, are traded on the exchange. However, following the signing of an MOU by the exchange, the John Agyekum Kufuor Foundation and the Ghana Rice Interprofessional Body, rice has been added to the list of trading commodities. Dr. Kadri Alpha is the CEO of the exchange.
We are trying to list rice on the exchange. There's so many challenges that the rice industry is facing. So it's not just about us just listing rice. We also have to look at the value chains. We have to look at those who are producing the rice and some of the challenges they are facing. And typically some of them is poor quality. They have high post-harvest losses. They also have problems with getting markets. They have problems with access to financing. They don't have sufficient information to negotiate better prices. And so if we want to successfully trade rice and to get the farmers to get better income, then we need to work with them. We have to develop a structured trading system to work with them to address these challenges.
CEO for the John Agyekum Kufuor Foundation, Professor Bafo Agyeman-Duah, explained the initiative will be a big step in creating ready markets for local rice producers.
Through this arrangement, we are going to ensure standards in our rice production. We are going to ensure packaging. And the best of all, farmers are going to get fair price for their produce. So this arrangement is going to elevate the marketing of Ghana rice to a completely new level. As we said earlier, the commodity exchange, they have warehouses. So now through this arrangement, farmers can store their produce and wait for the best time to sell. We will minimize post-harvest losses because there's now storage for them. And the best of all, when their produce is stored, it can be used as collateral backed by the commodity exchange to secure loans for their work.
Some rice farmers present at the event also noted that access to ready markets will go a long way to ensure better pricing for their commodity as well as lower the price of rice for consumers. For Joy Business, Sheila Tamaklo reporting.
Now, plans to revise the country's energy policies to benefit the people are fully on course and will soon be ready. This review has been necessary for the country to increase the country's benefit in the petroleum sector. Minister of Energy John Peter Amewu was speaking at the opening of the 11th International Upstream Forum in Accra. Ebenezer Sabute has more in this report.
The country's energy policies have not seen much review in more than a decade since they were established. The review process, which is ongoing, is expected to have an accelerated upstream petroleum roadmap and a strong regulatory regime to, among others, meet international standards. According to Minister of Energy Peter Amewu, this will ensure the nation gets the best results from the energy sector.
Hydrocarbon activities, as you know, it's a dynamic activity. And changes in economic conditions and prices of hydrocarbons determine the policy directions of a country that want to achieve a sustainable development. We in Ghana evaluate our potentials economic discovery program and therefore adjust our policies from time to time to make sure that we are able to bring in competent players into the sector.
The forum, which presents a platform for all players to share ideas, is being hosted in Ghana for the first time. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia noted that government will undertake measures to strengthen the Petroleum Commission in supervising the activities of the industry.
Improving efficiency and existing development and production arrangements, including through strengthening the regulator to conduct its own independent studies for improving production and recovery rates, and empowering the National Oil Company to establish requisite standby capability for operations. The strategy also includes promoting minimal own investments for aggressive exploration, including closing critical data gaps, establishing minimum infrastructure to catalyze local content development, promoting accelerated capacity development to equip the youth with the relevant technical and vocational skills in line with industry standards.
The program is being hosted by the Petroleum Commission of Ghana. Ebenezer Sabutis reports for Joy Business.
Let's also stay within the energy sector. Prices of various petroleum products are expected to go up marginally from next week. This is based on the application of the energy taxes outlined in the 2019 supplementary budget on the various petroleum products. There's more in this report.
The increase is based on numbers that Joy Business has picked up from industry regulators on the expected impact on prices when these levies are applied, based on the proposals from the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the 2019 supplementary budget. The Road Fund Levy, Energy Debt Recovery Levy, as well as the Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy are all expected to be increased by up to 20%. This would result in the 20 pesos being applied on petrol and diesel. Now, this would translate into a liter being sold at about 5 cedis 39 pesos for each of the products. So going forward, a gallon could go for 24 cedis 25 pesos possibly from next week. Now, this increase could happen only if the oil marketing companies decide to pass it to consumers, and other variables like the cedi, stocks and international prices remain fairly stable. We also understand that a kilogram of gas may go up by 8 pesos. Joy Business has also learned that the president last week gave his assent to the new tax laws outlined in the 2019 budget, and holding all other issues constant, implementation could start from next week.
And of course, the new tax measures outlined in this year's supplementary budget are expected to be implemented from next week. The president has already given his assent. There's more in this Business Desk report.
Joy Business understands the proposed implementation date would happen only if government is able to get the required state agencies to finalize work on the various tax types. Sources say some of them could even start this week, depending on how things are worked out. The new taxes were outlined in the 2019 supplementary budget, which included the communication service tax, which will be increased from 6 to 9%. This tax is paid on the use of communication services by consumers. It also approved the review of some 3 levies that will be placed on the various petroleum products. However, for the luxury vehicle, the good news is that following the presidential approval, it will now get the required legal backing for it to be scrapped, as announced by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Based on the supplementary estimates, these new tax measures should bring in additional 513 million Ghana cedis to help government meet its end-of-year total revenue target of almost 59 billion Ghana cedis. The taxes, which should have taken off earlier this month, delayed due to challenges in securing the required presidential approval. There were fears that the country could be losing billions of Ghana cedis as a result of this challenge. But government sources have downplayed these concerns, arguing that the delays were factored into the end-of-year revenue projection target.
So in business, the first segment of the business news, and I'll be back after 8 p.m. with more business. Don't go away.